the Roach King Asmongold, Baldy himself. That's right. Today I'm going to be talking about the whole entire cancellation of Asmongold situation that's been going over the last couple of weeks. And before I do get into the video and do get into this whole entire subject, a little viewer's discretion is that I want to say, and I've said it multiple times in every different videos, and I've even made a video about Asmongold in the past, is that I am a massive fan of Asmongold. I'm a fan of Asmongold. I have been a fan of Asmongold for a while now. I would have to say in the past year, he has been the content creator that I've watched the most, and I'm a massive fan of OTK altogether. So I probably do have some biases, but at the same time, I do have my own thought process, and even though Asmongold, sometimes I do agree with what he says a lot of the times, there is sometimes that I do disagree with him. But at the same time, I heavily enjoy his content. But let's get into this. So this started a few weeks ago. This started, I'd say maybe actually about a month ago, when the whole Sweet Baby Inc. debacle was going on, about how people were finding out that there was this company called Sweet Baby Inc. And what they were is that they were basically a consulting company for video game companies. And what they would do is that video game companies would hire them to have a look into their games and try to add some more diversity into their games. Which, I mean, if you, it sounds fine, but really, they were changing a lot of aspects about the games that really weren't making them great. And because of this, a community page started on Steam where it was called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected. And basically what this community page was doing is that the moderators of this community page were going ahead and looking at games and looking at what Sweet Baby Inc., what games they were involved in. They were saying like, hey, Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in this game, so if you want to avoid this game for that reason, just to let you know. And Asmongold was a supporter of this. I was a supporter of it as well, because I really think that like a company like Sweet Baby Inc., they don't have any like standing in the industry whatsoever. To me, I think they're absolutely unnecessary. And if anything, they're more of a hinder towards the industry than they are any type of help. But obviously, the far left people on the internet, they didn't fucking like this. And I have talked many times about how much I fucking I hate far left and far right political people, because they are so stuck far up their asses, so far up there that no matter what you show them, no matter if you show them clear-cut evidence that they are wrong, they will still stick to their guns, because they are so far up their asses. And like I said, the far left people on the internet, they hated Asmongold for this. And when it came out on Dragon's Dogma's official Twitter page that Asmongold was being sponsored by Capcom for Dragon's Dogma 2, the far left people didn't like it. Oh no, they did not like it whatsoever. And this is just one of the examples that was retweeted, that put out a retweet of the initial post by Dragon's Dogma, is that this guy right here, Ryan Easby, and he is an absolute piece of fucking shit. And right here, he tweets out that Asmongold is a gigantic piece of shit, and the reason we're currently in the midst of what can only be described as hell, even for people completely divorced from the current situation. The fact that Capcom has decided to platform him in any way is just disgusting, completely ignoring the fact he's incited one of the worst hate campaigns in years. He's also a transphobe, which he has no fucking evidence towards for that statement, who spews the old tired pronouns in bio. Did nobody look at the history of the people involved before putting them on a lineup together? I'd like to say that one thing is that this guy right here, I feel like he is someone who himself didn't do any history into people into Asmongold whatsoever before actually making this tweet. Because there's someone who watches Asmongold, who's a massive supporter of Asmongold, has watched his content religiously for, I'd say, about the past year, maybe year and a half, when I really started to like get into Asmongold's content, is that he is not a transphobe whatsoever. If anything, he leans more towards the left side of politics than he would the right side. He has come out and he has said that he supports people in the trans community. He supports people in the LGBT community. He is someone who is massive on diversity of race. He grew up with a lot of diverse people. So he has no racism or transphobic or against gay people whatsoever. So I don't know where the hell this guy's pulling this statement from whatsoever. And I like how he talks about this whole hate campaign thing going on, because really, he is one of these type of people who actually puts out hate campaigns. Right here, he put out a tweet about Mark Kern. Mark Kern is a games developer. He was formerly working at Blizzard. Then he made his own company and he released like some game which actually didn't do so well. But he's recently been back in the game industry. And he puts out this tweet talking about how he's a failed game developer who wants to use Sweet Baby Inc. coattails to reach popularity. And what's wilder is that he's achieving popularity with the exact crowd he wants. Bigoted gamers. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that sounds more of a hate campaign. And it gets retweeted by this girl, Melanie Mack, who does get attacked by Ryan and other far left people as well. And she talks about how Mark doesn't need to chase popularity. He's already achieved that from his accomplishments, which he actually has. And he has a passion about gaming. This man does. And then what does he do? Straight up calls her a homophobe. I like how these people, instead of like trying to construct a great argument against someone, what do? They go ahead and they just insult you or call you like a homophobe, a transphobe, a racist, or like they always like to use the word the most, a fucking Nazi. I mean, it's like this person right here who instead of trying to bring up a constructive argument against Asmongold, what do? They go ahead and attack Asmongold's character and just say how he should release a video of himself cleaning his room. Well, guess what, mate? Asmongold is more famous, more popular, and a lot more richer than you will ever wish to be in your whole entire life. So I don't know why the hell you're going ahead and tweeting this instead of maybe picking out a constructive topic to talk about and maybe building up something constructive. And once again, Ryan goes at Asmongold for like putting out so much content. And then in this tweet as well, he calls Asmongold a grifter, which I don't even think this guy knows what the definition of a grifter actually is. Because I had to look it up myself because I wanted to be sure that I knew the exact definition of a grifter. And it's a con artist. Someone who swindles money out of people through fraud. I'm sorry, but making content about you supposedly getting cancelled on Twitter, that's not what a fucking grifter is. I think before you type on the internet, like you have put out these hate campaigns for Asmongold, saying that, Capcom themselves is doing some research, maybe before you make a tweet, you should look up definitions and actually try to find some evidence of Asmongold being a transphobe in the first place. And on this tweet as well, I love how majority of the people who are actually like going against this guy, he hid them. Like, you have to go into hidden comments to actually look at people like who are putting constructive arguments against him. And the only ones that he's allowing are people like this infamous bitch right here, Alicia whatever her last name is, who is also another person who likes to build up these whole entire hate campaigns towards people and has come out against Asmongold multiple times. She was like very adamant and she retweeted multiple quote tweets of the whole entire Dragon's Dogma tweet where Asmongold were getting sponsored by them, and whenever people were going against Asmongold saying that he shouldn't be allowed to have this sponsorship, oh man, she herself, she was retweeting every fucking second one of these. And one thing I love about these people is that they talk about how diverse they are, how inclusive they are, but I don't really think that these people have ever really interacted with people of different cultures whatsoever. Asmongold himself, he stated multiple times that he grew up in Texas. He grew up with many different diverse people around him. And me, I can say the exact same. I grew up here in Melbourne, Australia. And I searched this up because I already knew that Melbourne had a very diverse population. Is that right here? I didn't know that we were actually this high. Is that Melbourne has the 10th largest immigrant population amongst world metropolitan areas. Melbourne's diversity is fucking insane. When I went to primary school, my primary school, so that's from prep to grade 6, 90% of my school was Vietnamese. I was a minority in my own school. And even then, I am somewhat of a minority because my grandparents weren't even born here in Australia. They were born overseas in Italy and Greece. My dad's side, born in Italy. My mum's side, born in Greece. I have a great-grandmother who was Polish, who was captured by the Nazis during World War II. So if anything, I have more diversity than these fucking people have ever spoken of and have dealt and have seen and have interacted with more diverse people. I live in a city that has some of the most diverse cultures in the fucking world. The amount of people that speak different languages here in Melbourne is ridiculous. You go out in the city, and the amount of different people from all around the world that you will see is insane. But you can tell that these people have never interacted with people of different cultures in their lives. Because it's like they think that they know what these different people want. But I don't think that they do. It's the exact same of where they're calling someone else a transphobe or a homophobe or a Nazi or a grifter or whatever the hell it is. It's like they don't actually do any research before they speak or do anything. It's the exact same where they have not dealt with people in these diverse cultures enough to actually know what the fuck they want. But I've been enjoying this whole entire series of Asmongold so-called getting cancelled. I mean, he's just kind of feeding off all of their interactive, and they're kind of making it out like they're living in his brain. I'm sorry, babes, but it's actually the other way around. He's been living in your brain rent free. Rent fucking free. Because while you've been tweeting out about him, you're making no money whatsoever. And if you are making some kind of money off your tweets, you're making pennies compared to what he is making off you. So if anything, keep tweeting out about the man, because I've been enjoying it. Other of his fans have been enjoying it. He himself has been enjoying it. Because if you actually watch through his videos, which I don't even think that they do, which I find really ironic, is that whenever they see these videos, they will just screenshot them, or they will just see the titles of them and then just tweet about him instead of actually watching to see what he actually has to say against their arguments. But that's it from me, guys. Let me know what you think about this down below. Are you finding this as funny as I am? And you know what? I hope this keeps going. I really do, because I find this shit fucking hilarious. But that's it from me, guys. Peace out.